at it again, and we got to talk about Merrick Garland and Ana Paulina Luna. There is a, listen, this is huge. This is huge. Now, time will tell if anything will come about of this entire situation, but I have a sneaky suspicion nothing will happen now. But when that orange fellow walks back in, yeah, it's going to get real good. Anyway, like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And this is Merrick Garland and him speaking about defying a congressional subpoena and why he has chosen to do so. Let's dive in.
The Justice Department is a fundamental institution of our democracy. People depend on us to ensure that our investigations and our prosecutions are conducted according to the facts and the law and without political influence. We have gone to extraordinary lengths to ensure that the committees get responses to their legitimate requests. But this is not one. To the contrary, this is one that would harm our ability in the future to successfully pursue sensitive investigations. Now, there have been a series of unprecedented and frankly unfounded attacks on the Justice Department. This request, this effort to use contempt as a method of obtaining our sensitive law enforcement files is just the most recent. The effort to threaten to defund our investigations and the way in which there are contributions to an atmosphere that puts our agents and our prosecutors at risk, these are wrong. Look, the only thing I can do is continue to do the right thing. I will protect this building and its people.
Gentlemen, why don't we respond?
Go ahead. You kind of answered this just now, but I was wondering, what this combined with the efforts to defund Jack Smith and the other attacks on Biden administration officials say about, the broader effort to discredit you and to discredit the Justice Department, and also how do you manage that? How are you resisting that? And what can you do about that as Attorney General?
We have to go about our work following the federal principles of prosecution. As I said, we follow the facts and the law. We screen out outside inappropriate influences. That's what we're doing here. We're protecting our ability to continue to do high-profile and sensitive investigations, and we will continue to do that.
Mr. Perry, last question. It now seems the odds now seem vanishingly small that the two Jack Smith federal cases are going to begin trial, let alone finish trial, this year. What does that say about the pace of the justice system and confidence in this Justice Department?
Look, the special counsel brought both cases last year. He appropriately requested speedy trials. The matter is now in the hands of the judiciary, and I'm not going to be able to comment any further.
Thank you,
everyone. We have to go to the FBI Memorial. Thank you, everyone.
So apparently they can't accomplish or do their proper duties if they go along with the congressional subpoena and to turn over what they are asking for, according to Merrick Garland, as you heard there. Well, there is a person in the House, Ana Paulina Luna, who had something very interesting to say about that. And Dan Goldman, who some of you may be familiar with, because Dan Goldman is the guy who, and these are his words, he said it himself, and I showed you guys the clip. He said that he prepared, I forgot the exact word he used, but he basically prepared Michael Cohen for this Trump hush money trial. And apparently in this situation, he said that the House Oversight Committee doesn't have the power to charge Merrick Garland with contempt, but Ana Paulina been doing her research. Shout out to Ana Paulina Luna. Some of the true Republicans in the House and the Senate, which in my humble opinion, there's only about 20 of them, maybe 25, maybe. And that's probably stretching it. True Republicans, people that I genuinely would trust, right, to make the right decision. And that goes between the House and the Senate. There's only about 20 to 25, right? And I've named some of them. I always name some of the same folks, Byron Donalds, Matt Gaetz, some of the more popular guys. Of course, you got the Jim Jordans, you got the Rand Pauls, you got the Josh Hawleys, right? So those guys are part of that 20 to 25 group, just to give you a marker on who some of those folks are. But let's get into what Anna Paulina had to say. And listen, Anna Paulina is part of that group too. Okay, I guess I probably should have said that one. I mean, we're about to watch a clip of her. But check out what she had to say in response to Merrick Garland's decision.
I, like so many Americans, have frankly lost faith in the justice system. And there was some comments made earlier by my colleague, Mr. Goldman, who I actually very much so enjoyed debating with on this committee. But he said that oversight did not have authority in regards to contempt proceedings. And during my time off for maternity, after I was told that I could not vote, I actually spent that time reading the House Rule Book and Manual. And there's something that hasn't been used since the early 1900s called inherent contempt of Congress. It's actually something that any one individual member reserves as their right and authority in the House of Representatives. And the reason why we're here today is because the Attorney General thought he was above the law and did not comply not just with one subpoena, but with two subpoenas. Those are subpoenas from both Chairman Jordan and Chairman Comer. I want to read this to you because ultimately, if in 10 days the Department of Justice does not do their job and hold the Attorney General responsible, just like they would any other American, I think that it should be our job in the House of Representatives to bring an inherent contempt proceeding against the Attorney General, of which I've already filed that privilege motion over a week ago. And so, although I realize that my Democrat colleagues might have an issue with this, and I'm willing to retract the amendment, I would like to read it real quickly in saying that resolved that if in 10 days after the passage of this report, the Department of Justice had failed to indict Attorney General Garland, the Speaker of the House of Representatives shall issue his warrant commanding the Sergeant-at-Arms or his duty to take into custody the body of the said Attorney General Garland, wherever found, and bring him to the said Attorney General Garland before the bar of the House of Representatives, then and there to provide documents, materials, and answer such questions pertinent to the matter under inquiry as the House of Representatives may order the Speaker of the House of Representatives to propound and to keep the said Attorney General Garland in custody to await further orders of the House of Representatives. This is something that we reserve as an authority in order to bring back order to a House that has seemed to have forgotten it. And so with that, Chairman, I just wanted to let you all know, as my colleagues, because I'm sure we will debate this on the floor, I fully intend in 10 days after this passes out of committee to hold Attorney General Garland in inherent contempt of Congress if the Department of Justice does not do their job.
Hey. Big shout out to Anna Paulina Luna. Now, I want to read this. This is from MJ Truth Ultra. I just want to make it clear that I'm reading something, so, oh, well, he's reading off of a teleprompter. Actually, it's not a teleprompter, but I wish I did. Sometimes I do wish I did have a teleprompter, it'd make videos a little bit easier. But anyway, okay, so Anna Paulina has come out and said she spent some time reading the House Rule Book and Manual and just learned of some powers the House of Representatives has to hold people accountable. It's called the inherent contempt of Congress powers. With these powers, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, can send the Sergeant-at-Arms to go arrest anyone who defies a congressional subpoena. Where can they be held? Many don't know this. And this is honestly something that I found out, was it today or earlier today or yesterday? I just found this out, what I'm about to read here. Where can they be held? Many don't know this, but there are jail cells at the bottom of the Capitol. Did y'all know that? I had no clue about this. No clue about this until like literally less than 24 hours ago. Like, I had no clue that there were jail cells under the Capitol. So, it's just now a question of, will it be done? Anna said she's going through with it. But will Mike Johnson say, all right, we're going to do this? And for me, I just have to take a step back and think about this for a while. If I'm being completely honest, because I told you guys, I'm a strategic type of person, which is why I see y'all be saying, you know, Rich 2028 or Rich for Congress or Rich this. Like, no, I can't. I'm too strategic, and it would annoy me when people, for example, I may vote for something, even though I know like it's a terrible thing, but I may vote for it simply to give the Democrats what they wanted, right? But I know it's going to be a bad thing and it's going to make them look even worse. So I'll just say, yeah, go ahead, take it. You know, I'll vote for it, sure. But then I'm sure I'll get ridiculed by a lot of folks like, yo, Rich, you know, I thought you were one of us. And it's not like I can come out and say, well, yeah, I'm just setting them up. Like, they wanted it, so I gave it to them. And now they're going to look bad. Have you guys ever realized a lot of the times when you give Democrats what they actually want, then they realize, oh, crap, maybe I don't really want this. You know, then they start complaining about it. It'd be one of those types of situations, you know, that I may like say, yeah, I'll vote for that just to give them what they want so they look terrible. But for me, with this whole Merrick Garland situation, I would hesitate to do it only because of this. I don't want the Democrats to be able to try to spin it to garner sympathy right before the election. That would be my only concern with that, right? So I would have to sit back and think about it long and hard. And I know some of you are going to say, hey, well, he committed this. We can't just run around with like chickens with our head cut off, right? This not the time. This isn't the place. I've said this before. I want Republicans to be strategic, right? Look at what Democrats do. Their policies are absolutely garbage. Absolutely garbage. They're terrible. Terrible. I mean, the proof is right in front of our faces on a daily basis. Daily basis. And yet it's still a question of whether or not Joe Biden may win. Why is that? Because of strategy. So just imagine if we as Republicans, we've already got the better policies, right? That's already set in stone. It's clear as day. But then we implement some strategy on top of that, and we play chess, not checkers. Now, Democrats can do absolutely nothing. That's my position on all of this. And listen, I'm sure some of you disagree. I'm sure you do. Let me know why, though. Because from that position, we don't lose. From the position of, yeah, we got the better policies, and yeah, we just do, you know, there's possibilities that we could lose. There's possibilities that we could lose. I mean, look at what's happened, right? So when you have the better policies and you implement some strategy, in my mind, that's the recipe to completely. I'm trying to think of a good word. You know, that's a recipe to basically never lose again, right? You improve this country, and on top of that, you're implementing strategy within what it is that you're doing on a daily basis, instead of, you know, for example, with the whole Mike Johnson situation where Marjorie Taylor Greene was trying to get him kicked out off of the speakership. And it's like, well, we don't have the votes. All Democrats have to do is convince 2 Republicans to flip, and then we have Speaker Hakeem Jeffries. Definitely don't want that. I'm not saying Mike Johnson is great. He's not. I want him out of there too, just as bad as any other, Republican, right? But this is not the time. It's not the place. I understand where she was coming from, and I understand where everyone else that doesn't like Mike Johnson is coming from. Get him out of there, but this isn't the time nor the place. And I think even Matt Gaetz came out and said the same thing. We don't have the votes for it. If we did, Matt Gaetz would have probably been one of the people on the front line. Look what he did to Kevin McCarthy, right? But that was when we had the votes. Don't have them now. But I saw Republicans, you know, before when it was all going down, I saw Republicans, oh yeah, let's get rid of Mike Johnson. And nobody's thinking about, well, who exactly are you going to replace him with? And how do you plan on doing that? You don't think Democrats are like, here's our shot, guys. Here's our shot. We just need to convince just a couple of them. That's easy, right? In a corrupt place like that, that would have been very, very easy. But that's what I mean when I say strategy. Strategy. Pull Mike Johnson to the side. Yo, son, what the you use some coarse language if you need to. What the hell are you doing, son? Maybe there's a reasoning behind what he's doing. Maybe there isn't. But you pull him to the side. You don't try to kick him off because we don't have the votes. But I just wanted to give an example of, what I mean when I say we need to just implement more strategy when it comes to this stuff. And if I were there, I know that I would. And me knowing myself, I would just get so annoyed with people coming at me. Oh, Rich this, Rich that. Oh, Rich isn't true. Rich is a liar. And it's like, I'm still on your side. Relax. I got this. But I couldn't say that. So it would just eat me up. So I just rather just avoid that whole situation. I appreciate it, right? But I'll pass. Anyway, y'all let me know what you thought about all of this in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.